Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me yet again. As you can see by the title, I will be sharing a couple of tips for when you are apartment searching. I know it's like a bit of a weird time to be doing it because, you know, like people are moving right now, but I moved in recently, about 2 weeks ago, and so it's appropriate for me to do it now. But already from what I've said, I can already think of 2 tips, so let's just get straight into it. So the first tip is to not do it too far ahead of time. I started looking in October and I was looking to move into this place in Feb, and so I did it way too soon, and that just made me really tired because every day I was checking emails, checking apartments, and just being motivated, demotivated by it. My mom is very pedantic about these things, so unfortunately I just had to kind of do that, and it was so stressful, especially considering all the other things that I had to do. So yeah, I would not recommend that at all. Rather move it to closer to the time, because chances are if you're trying to move in Feb, those places are not going to be up much earlier than Jan anyways, because these things do tend to be very last minute. And the second tip I have is to try and move in off-peak times if that is possible. So most people move at the beginning of the year because that's when people are starting a new job, starting at school, moving to different places, and so the demand is very high during that time, which raises the price up. And so if you can delay it, try and move at a time later on in the year, because then you'll find the places are a lot cheaper and a lot nicer and a lot less stressful because there's less competition. I was considering moving off-peak time, but then I don't know, like the admin of moving and packing and all that stuff is a lot, so I don't know, I'll see. But if you can do it, then I'd definitely recommend that. The third tip is location logistics. So basically just consider where you go to work or where you go to school. Consider where you go to gym, where you would go buy your groceries and stuff, just places that you have to frequent often, and how easy it is to get to those places. So like the transport systems in place as well. Yeah, like you need to live in a place that makes sense for you. I'm fortunate enough to live on a main road. It does get very loud and busy, but I also don't really take long to get to places, and it also really works well for my safety, in the sense that if I'm getting off on the main road, I don't have to walk down some inroads. I'm literally close to home. So the fourth tip has to do with the place itself. That I split into 2 things, which is utilities and furniture. So is the place that you're moving into furnished or not? That means that if it's furnished, the price does tend to go up a bit in terms of rent, but if it's not furnished, it's a bit cheaper, but also you need to have your own furniture. Do you want to make the once-off investment in buying your own furniture that you can use in whichever apartment that you go into, or would you rather just pay a slightly higher rent and you don't have to buy that furniture for yourself? With the utilities, it's electricity, water, and sometimes it includes like your sewage, your maintenance, cleaning, that type of stuff. You do want to consider whether it is included or not into your rent. You also want to consider if it's prepaid or not prepaid. If it is not included, I prefer not prepaid, so I prefer receiving my bill at the end of the month, because then it prevents me having to like keep track of, do I still have water, do I still have electricity. And the fifth and final tip pertains to the viewings that you go to and the ingoing inspection. Guys, please be as detailed as possible. Like every little thing matters. Look at your ceilings, look at your floors, look at the skirting, look at the windows, look at the doors, anything loose, any marks on the wall, any cracks on the wall. I have like these 2 little holes in my wall. I don't really mind them that much because I think I'm going to use them to like put a shelf in, but like note that thing down. Your blinds, your taps, drains, are they flowing smoothly? Your lights, are they all working? If you have a stove, do all the knobs work? Do they align to the plate that they're supposed to align you? Every single little detail that you can possibly take or see, note it down, inform your agent or your landlord about it, so that they can either come in and fix it, or if they don't come in and fix it, you know that when you are moving out, they don't blame that on you, and then it won't decrease your deposit. And while we're still speaking about the deposits, I guess like a 6th bonus tip is just to like save beforehand, because it can be a really pricey life move in the sense that most places do require deposits, and it's usually like a month or 2 months worth of rent, which does mean that you end up having to pay about 3 months of rent beforehand, and that's obviously a huge chunk financially speaking. So planning will make sure that you don't find yourself in a mess later on. when it's time to do the things.
Hi guys, this is post-editing Coco, and I'm realizing that I forgot to mention a couple of things while I was filming this, so I'm just going to pause it right here and say those things right now. So the first thing is just to suggest that you use a reputable site when you are looking for this apartment. I would suggest Private Property or Property 24. I think the really nice thing about those sites is that they also allow you to set up email alerts so that you get places that are available straight into your email that fit your specifications in terms of price and size and all those types of things. And then maybe another one, if you don't mind living in like a digs, is Digs Connect. And there are a couple of other reputable sites out there, but those are just the ones that I'm aware of right now. And I think that's just important to know so that you don't go in like Gumtree or something and get scammed. And so while we're still on that scamming tip, I would also suggest that if you're moving to a place that you don't know very well, you use Google Maps, because especially as a student, they will tell you everything that you want to hear. Yeah, it's 5 minutes away from campus, and yeah, it's just, yeah. I remember the one, so I studied at UCT, and we have the Jammy buses, right? And the one advert literally said on the Jammy route. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, surely this place is not far from campus. And it turns out I would have had to take about 2 buses and a taxi to get to a Jammy stop that would then take me to campus. So just be careful of those things. And also, something like on the routes doesn't necessarily mean that there's a stop there. Another thing to be aware of when it comes to scams is just viewings. I would not suggest that you sign anything or agree to anything until you have had the viewing and you've seen the place and it's what they say it is. And then also with the viewing, I would suggest that you take someone with you for safety reasons, and also just to get like a second opinion.
So yes, thank you so much for watching, guys. Please do like, comment and subscribe. Please comment. I love reading comments. I mean, I don't know if, what could you comment on this video? Maybe if you're considering moving soon, or you have moved recently and I left something out that you want to add in the comments down below, please do that. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Mama, look at me now.